Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC Show.
Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon.
I am Marcus Mack, and this is the EAC Show, episode 51, coming to you live from sunny South Florida.
What's going on, Marcus Mack? How's everything?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hanging in there, man. Having a horrible hair day right now. But
Marcus Mack here on the EAC Show. We have an amazing show coming up today, and we also have an amazing interview coming up that we're going to shoot tomorrow and have ready for Wednesday's show. We are going to have actor Wilhelmina model, University of Virginia graduate, former 12-time NFL All-Pro running back, CEO of the Caster app, and CEO of Independently Major Entertainment, Thomas Q. Jones, joining us on the EAC Show for Wednesday episode. Marcus Mack, I can't wait.
Yeah, me either, man. We definitely got a whole lineup of things to talk about with him. He has a huge portfolio. You know me, I love to talk about the money. You know what I'm saying? But his career definitely speaks for itself, and a lot of the moves that he's making, you know, to set precedent. So I can't wait to have the interview.
Marcus, I don't know how you feel about this, but and mind you, I've known TJ for many, many years. It just seems like this interview is going to have so much that we're going to leave some stuff out, and it's going to make me so upset when we go over the interview, and then we're like, damn, we left this, damn, we left that. It's just like you're fighting major key points that you want to tackle and you want to get answered certain questions. I got other podcasts hitting me up. Hey, listen, can you ask them about this? Sure, no problem. You know, we'll definitely collab in some way, shape, or form. But I know there's going to be some people that are going to get upset because there's going to be some stuff that we left out.
Yeah. Well, no, I think we should touch base on everything. We've been doing our homework, and you know, like Emilio said to the listeners, you know, they've been friends for a very long time. So we're gonna try to keep it real natural, and you know, we're gonna try to get you guys all the latest and up and coming that he has going on, because he's definitely got some really dope stuff coming.
Yeah, we're gonna try to keep it as organic as possible, laid back and chill, so show the relaxed side of Thomas and get everything going. But Marcus Mack, we have an excellent show, episode 51, to discuss some topics here today. We're gonna stick with what we've been sticking and talking about, and that's literally, you've been texting me, so this is why we're going through this. So you've been texting me, hit me on social media. You need to talk to Mr. Manfred's wife, right? That's what you said to me?
No, I want somebody call his daughter. I want to take his daughter on a date. I think get Megan on the line. I want to take Megan on a date, man, because you know, maybe that's the only way to get through to Mr. Manfred. You know, if he has me over for dinner. Hey, Megan.
So I reached out to my source today, Marcus Mack, and my source was basically saying the same exact thing. He's like, look, this is just negotiations. They're still going to play baseball. You know, the players are trying to play hardball. The owners are trying to play hardball. He still feels like they're going to play baseball, Marcus Mack. But we're here to talk about today that the new proposal that Major League Baseball just gave to the players.
Well, you know what I like to say. You get what you negotiate. You know, we talk about
You said that multiple times on the show, Marcus Mack.
You get what you negotiate, and sometimes the best thing you can do is stick to your guns. You know what I'm saying, and this is just what it is. We're not gonna play the, you know, low ball your game, and then, you know, I'll come up and no, this is what we want. This is what we sticking with, and that's it. And that's what the Players Association has been doing on behalf of the players. And I guess we see who has the leverage now. The players definitely have the leverage, because you know, the owners have now come with another proposal for a 76 game season, which it'll be $1.432 billion in compensation. $998 million would be a straight up salary, and $443 million, will be paid in once the playoffs come, if that happens, you know, if playoffs take place. So in total, that's $1.432 billion over a 76 game season, which is 75% of the players' prorated salaries, which is a whole lot better than what they was doing before. Like I said, we see now who has the leverage, the players.
So Marcus Mack, the information that I got back is that the players did not agree to this. They didn't like it at all. And the players are smart. The players are smart. The players, like you said earlier, in my opinion, it's leaning towards them. As you can see, that Major League Baseball players, the owners, have now increased their number of games from 50 to 60 all the way up to 76. They haven't got past the half a season threshold, which is 100 is 81 games. They haven't got past that yet, but they're going to inch closer because the players want 114. It's probably going to be somewhere around 100, maybe 90-ish that they'll end up settling in, but it will go over the half a season threshold because the more games played, the more money goes to the players at the end of the day. The owners don't want to do that. They want to play less games, give out less money, and have the ability to try to make more money later on. The players don't want that. The players want more games, more money, and more money in the playoffs as well.
Yeah, I mean, because at what point is the owners just being selfish? At what point is the owners just being greedy? Because the owners, just like everybody else, knows that they will be able to recoup. I said this the last episode, and I'm gonna say it again. They have ample enough time to recoup, and they need to give these players their money.
Just a reminder, Marcus Mack. Some owners don't make money off the team. They reinvest the money into the team. But when you reinvest the money into the team, as we stated on a previous episode, you are reinvesting into your asset. Your asset is gaining value.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know whose hand is in what and who's making the call and who's Jimmy Cricket and who's air. But one thing for sure is the owners do not want to back up. But if the players aren't backing up and now the owners are finally kind of given a little bit of breathing room, we know it won't be too long before they budge all the way. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Marcus Mack. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said I can't wait to see it really unfold because now I want to see who's gonna win this battle. And right now the players are in the lead.
We have to be realistic. These owners became owners because they're really good at business. They're really good at business. And in order to be really good at business, you have to be cutthroat. Sometimes you have to be greedy. You have to be selfish. I mean, there's some owners out there that they get to a point where they make money and they just become really, really big philanthropists and they just throw money around because they're like, man, I can't take it with me when I die, so I might as well put it to use. But you got some owners that they're more worried about legacy and the family and like more like lineage, like passing it down from generation to generation. So this is definitely a sport that does that. Like in my opinion, I really do think that the New York Yankees will never be sold ever again. I think they're going to be in the Steinbrenner family pretty much for the rest of their lives because it's too big of a company to sell, you know?
I mean, I definitely wouldn't want to sell it. The Yankees?
Yeah,
even the Jets. Big shout outs to the Jets. This is NFL, but even the Jets. Only Lord knows the Jets ain't ever going anywhere. But,
Damn, Marcus, thanks. I appreciate that, Marcus. Thank you. Way to take a big ass dig on me. I appreciate that, Marcus.
That was a little shot right there. But it's certain teams that you just wouldn't ever want to sell. You mentioned the New York Yankees. That's definitely one of those things where it's a legacy. We're talking about your son. Like Vince McMahon. WWE and everything associated with Vince McMahon will go down from generation to generation to generation to generation.
Now, Marcus Mack, I did reach out to a player the other day. He didn't want to be named, and he gave me some information about MLB. And he's like, look, I'm pretty much just waiting, just like everybody else. I'm staying in shape. I'm trying to do as much as possible. But if a season wasn't played, which he doesn't think, he thinks they're going to play. If a season wasn't played, he doesn't mind because he still gets a year of service time. You understand? So he gets closer to free agency. So he doesn't really lose anything, you know? He's like, I don't lose anything. What do I lose? He's like, I'm still going to end up becoming a free agent. You know, I'm not losing time played. If the season is not played, I still get my time played. So it doesn't matter to me.
So here's my question that I'm interested in, right? If they're with all this back and forth negotiating, when are they going to have time to really go over the draft and have, you understand what I'm saying?
The draft has been postponed to September, so they got plenty of time for that. They'll make the youngins wait. There's no big deal on that. The issue at hand here is baseball itself. You got to get baseball going. It's going to take probably 2 weeks of spring training. and then you could get baseball going. I think they really do know that they want opening day to be July 4th. They want to have this huge extravaganza, all eyes on baseball, America, independence. It's always like that. All eyes is always on baseball around July 4th. So they know they probably want to have July 4th be their opening day. And I think baseball knows that, and I think the players know that as well. I think they end up playing, and I think and they end up in some way, shape, or form that weekend, July 4th weekend, being their opening day.
Yeah, I definitely like that too. All right. So going on to the next topic, we're gonna discuss some business moves by Reebok. Those of you that do not know, Reebok has been backing CrossFit for a very long time, and the CrossFit CEO Greg Glassman made a very, for lack of a better word, suspect comment on social media with all of this racial stuff going on right now. I really don't like talking about that stuff on the show, but this is the topic at hand right now, which he said.
We're more discussing the business side of it, right, Marcus? We're more covering the business side.
Yeah, the business side of it, which is crazy because CrossFit is like a huge part of the business for Reebok. And he made a comment with the with George Floyd, calling this whole time right now Floyd 19, which is a horrible thing to say in this particular time, and the backlash that he got was huge. And Reebok completely just backed away from CrossFit altogether.
Shout out to the whole CrossFit community, Marcus Mack. They are loyalists. I've seen it firsthand. Those CrossFit, those followers, they wear Reebok to the death. Reebok is like the greatest thing in the world to them. This is very sad because this goes to show you the very important thing that your mother or your father always told you when you were a little kid. If you don't got something nice to say, don't say it at all. Don't say it at all. Like this literally ruined or has financial ramifications for many, many people in the CrossFit community. They did say they're going to sit there and they're still going to acknowledge or they're going to hold their obligations to the CrossFit game for 2020. But after that, it's pretty much over. They were negotiating a new deal. This comes out. They say, you know what? We're wiping our hands clean with you. We don't want nothing to do with that. We felt that it was insensitive. That's not moving in the right direction. Reebok felt they were bigger than that. And now CrossFit has no sponsor when it comes to apparel and footwear for their CrossFit games and their competitions. This is really, really bad.
And then not only do they lose, the sponsorship with Reebok, but then you have big athletes that's involved with them as well. That's going to see that. You're going to have people who are, just that regular everyday person that deals with CrossFit. It's like, no, okay, I'm not dealing with CrossFit anymore because of how touchy this topic is. It's a very serious thing, not just because of the time right now, but because it is a serious thing. And there's people who's taking this very seriously. So, a huge CrossFit athlete, Noah Olson, completely backed away from CrossFit. So I don't want nothing to do with you guys. This is heinous. How can you possibly do this?
But that's the thing, Marcus Mack, also because like this CEO says what he says, but it's not a full representation of how everybody in that community feels about what's going on. So now CrossFit loses a major sponsor that helps them with putting on competitions and holding games and all types of stuff, apparel, footwear, everything, just because somebody's asinine mistake.
No, it's really political. It's really political. And no, it doesn't speak about the brand and the people who work directly with the brand or how the brand may service the people who deal with CrossFit. No, it does not speak for them. But the political part of it is like, okay, do I want to attach myself to this at all? Same way how, I don't want to speak about this really on the platform, but I'm going to say this. Same way how there's a lot of people who are making donations, or the same way how there are people who didn't want to have anything to do with any of this Black Lives Matter stuff before, And now because of how big it has gotten from this George Floyd incident, now they want in. Why?
Yeah.
Because they feel like if they don't get in political, if they don't get in, they're going to be looked at like
a certain type of way.
Some type of way, exactly, because, you know, their silence says a lot. So, you know, so now when you have someone in his position, he's supposed to know better.
Yeah,
It's
of
either you
course.
say nothing at all, or you better say something good, because everyone with some kind of position who has anything to do with your company, they don't want to be tied to you at all, because they don't want that backlash.
I agree totally. Marcus Mack, you know, and Cameron also knows on this show, we've discussed multiple things on the pre-show, you know, ideas of what we're going to talk about on this show. We hash it out, we figure it out, we try to keep it as politically correct as possible because we don't want to piss anybody off. And when you have
to be politically absent.
Yeah, I mean, we literally, and we're not a multi-million-dollar company. You know, this is a CEO of a multi-million-dollar company. What were you thinking?
Right.
What were you really thinking?
Right. Right.
But we're gonna stick.
Go ahead.
We're gonna stick with the Reebok talk. Then we're gonna brighten it up a little bit. Happy birthday to the answer, Allen Iverson.
Right. Right.
And you're gonna get into the topic of talking about Allen Iverson and what's coming for Allen Iverson in the future, Marcus Mack.
So yes, happy birthday to AI. Happy 45th birthday, which I feel like I'm really getting old because Allen Iverson, the crossover animal, is 45 years old. Jesus Christ. Happy birthday, AI. He's set to get $32 million as a trust fund from Reebok when he turns 55, which is 10 years from now. As part of his contract, part of his lifetime deal with Reebok is to get $800,000 a year. Every year.
Marcus Mack, Allen Iverson is somebody that should be so well off when it comes to money. Like, so well off. Like, he's had 14 years in the NBA. His career earnings in that, just playing basketball, is $154 million. Not to mention any other endorsement that Allen Iverson had in this enormous, enormous Reebok deal that he had, Marcus Mack. What Allen Iverson is going through is just a prime example of what you shouldn't be doing with your money sometimes. Allen Iverson has to break off his former ex-wife out of that $32 million when he turns 55 years old, half of that money.
That's $16 million, ladies and gentlemen. $16 million. Not just because he divorced him and his wife was divorced. This is because he decided, Mr. Smart Guy, and this is a letter to all of the guys who's getting married. He put as a part of his prenuptial agreement that if he cheats, his wife will get half of that trust fund.
And that didn't last long.
It lasted a grand total of 364 days. Hey, yo, listen, you gotta get. We're gonna take a page out of the Breakfast Club's book for this. You got to get the donkey of the day for that one. Or Big L. Shout outs to him.
This part of the show is brought to you by our sponsor who's been with us since episode 1 to episode 51. That's ElCubanoSandwichShop.com. Use the promo code EAC and receive discounts on online pickups or delivery orders. Enjoy a cafe con leche or that natural pre-workout shot of that Cuban coffee to start your day. The daily lunch specials and their steak sandwich is next level. Once again, use the promo code EAC. That's ElCubanoSandwichShop.com or 954-906-5110. Remember, use the promo code EAC, and that's El Cubano Sandwich Shop in Coral Springs. Marcus Mack, you left him some croquetas today, didn't you?
Oh, of course. I got to have it with the orange sauce and the zucchini. So, ladies and gentlemen, our next topic is something that we all can relate to in some way, shape, or form. Me personally, I've experienced this firsthand. Whenever I had a female say she was leaving, and she came back. Now, Conor McGregor Conor McGregor says that he is going to be retiring. Seriously this time. He's really leaving.
I think this is the third time, Marcus Mack, that he's claimed to be retiring, by the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, to all the viewers out there, I'm quite sure you can relate. There's someone who said, I can't deal with this anymore. I am leaving. So Conor McGregor, he's ready to part ways. With UFC, he's ready to go after the third time. He even went on to say at one point, which Floyd Mayweather was not jacking. He told Mike Tyson, he said, "Listen, if I fight Floyd Mayweather one more time, I'm gonna beat him." I guess you won't now because you're retiring, right?
I mean, look, Marcus Mack, Conor McGregor has done an amazing job of making financial security for himself and his family. I mean, the Floyd Mayweather fight put him in a stratosphere that probably no other UFC fighter will ever see ever again. It's just tough. He wanted to fight a few times this year, try to set up fights. It didn't work out for whatever reason. COVID-19 came, pushed everything back. You know, he wants to fight Justin Gaethje, but Gaethje don't want to fight him. Gaethje wants to fight Khabib. He feels like he's past Conor. So it's like almost to a point where it's like, who do you find to fight Conor? And Conor's probably the biggest name or draw in UFC history, and you can't find somebody to fight him. It doesn't make sense. There was like, I think, an Anderson Silva fight at a certain weight that they threw around, and they were like, nah, we're not going to do that neither. So Conor's kind of like in a bind. He's like sitting there trying to figure out who he's going to fight next, and he really can't find a fight. So he might as well just go and retire. He's made a lot of money off UFC.
He's coming back.
But still, you need to build. You still need to build the build up to come back. Like, you need to miss me. You need to miss me so you can kiss me. It's just the way it works, Marcus Mack.
Conor McGregor has managed to still keep himself relevant even without having a fight.
Because he was the first at doing what he did and being the best at it. It's like Muhammad Ali. You know, Muhammad Ali, you can argue whether he was the greatest boxer of all time, but no matter what, you always remembered him. You know, he was talking junk, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, rumble, young man, rumble. All that to this day, those sayings that he said back then, people still remember those sayings till this day. And the antics and the promoting and the lip service that Conor McGregor used to do when it came to these fights and promoting his fights were amazing. They were next level. They were on, like, above and beyond. They were just in a different stratosphere when it came to that.
He was a brand in its own. It wasn't just skill in the octagon and in the ring. It was pure, unadulterated marketing. It was just great. His personality, it's everything. It sold. He sold himself. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I even think this whole retirement thing, per the usual, is part of it. Floyd Mayweather said, man, listen, you said you was going to retire before. You know what I'm saying? And if you come back, if you decide to retire now and you come back, I'll be waiting to punish you again.
Yeah, he will. He will 100% will. I mean, what Conor McGregor has is the total package. He can fight. He holds his own. He's a champion. No one can take that away from him. But when it comes to the promo, when it comes to the promotional side of promoting a fight, he's there with Ali. He's just as high as Muhammad Ali when it comes to putting on a spectacle, to turning this event to a massive global event.
And that's a huge comparison, by the way.
People watch Floyd Mayweather nowadays to see if he's really going to lose.
Yeah.
People watch
him to lose. He's undefeated. They want him to lose.
Look, people watch Conor McGregor because they want to see what's going to happen next.
They watch Conor McGregor. They don't even care if he wins or loses. They just want to see what's going to happen. Yeah. And the funny thing is, after he lost to Mayweather, his thing was, listen, did you see the check I just got?
Exactly.
Did you see the check I just got? I didn't come here to win, lose, nothing. I came to pick up this bag.
My man was drinking proper 12 right after it, and we're talking about how big the bag was. Like literally, like how big the check.
Did you see the video where he was in a pub, I think in Ireland or something like that, or in his hometown, and he had some of his drink, the what's it called?
Proper 12. Proper 12 is called.
That, and he tried to offer it to a guy, and the guy turned him down, so he punched him in his face.
Yo, shout outs to Conor McGregor. Don't ever change, man. Just don't ever change. Try to stay out of trouble, but don't ever change. We appreciate everything that you bring to the sport of UFC. The ability to be able to market and promote yourself and your brand and care about all of that. You put 100% passion in. All the other stuff that you did, like, kind of like hurting people and stuff like that. You could take that away and you could be a better person when it comes to that type of stuff. But everything else you've done was extraordinary, man. You literally helped put UFC in a stratosphere that it is in right now. You're probably one of the best promoters when it came to fighting and promoting a fight, hands down, next to the great Muhammad Ali is where I would put you. Because in all actuality, Floyd Mayweather, he doesn't really promote his fights. Like, you're just watching to watch him to see if he's going to lose.
Floyd Mayweather sells himself. It sells himself. The name and everything attached to it sells himself. Everything from, the money team, the big, boisterous, everything about Floyd Mayweather sells itself. And Conor McGregor has, made it to where himself as a brand stands out. You understand what I'm saying? And we talking about, not just in UFC, but in boxing as well. Heavyweight boxing is boring. Well, I'm saying heavyweight boxing in relation to back in the 90s when you had the Lennox Lewis, the Iron Mike Tyson, the Evander Holyfield, when boxing was fun. Feel what I'm saying? And that, right. Conor McGregor gives you that feel. Like you want to go and see the fight, not just for the skill, but for the people. It's like, yo, Conor McGregor's fighting, I got to go check this out. Oh, it's the weigh-in? I got to see this weigh-in because Conor McGregor sells.
Did you remember Marcus Mack when he won the fight and Joe Rogan was interviewing him? Shout out to Joe Rogan, a legend. Joe Rogan was interviewing him in the ring. He grabbed the microphone. He says, I would like to apologize to absolutely nobody. And he just went nuts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's exactly why people tune in to watch him.
That's what we came for.
Because you want to know what the hell is going to come out of his mouth next.
Exactly. Are you entertained? Are you entertained?
That's without question. Conor McGregor, 100%. That we hope it's not his last fight. But if so, hats off to you, my friend. Great job and a great career. And you deserved all of it, without a doubt.
Yeah, huge shout out to Conor McGregor. So, as far as positions of skill and being valued a certain way, Dalvin Cook holding out without reasonable extension. Dalvin Cook is the running back for the Minnesota Vikings. And those of you that don't know, the running back position in the NFL is, in my opinion, undervalued at this point. I think who is the highest paid? I think it's Christian McCaffrey, right?
Yeah, McCaffrey got the bag. He got the bag early this year. $16 million he's getting.
Highest paid. I believe they gave him that check with no issues, no problems at all.
None. Right? None.
Now, when you got quarterbacks, wide receivers, these kinds of positions, those positions they pay for no problem. For some reason, the running back position is like I said, undervalued. And you have players like Dalvin Cook who is gonna sit down and wait it out and say, listen, there will be no practices, there will be nothing for me. I'm not showing up until you give me what I deserve and what I'm valued at.
Absolutely, Marcus Mack. You couldn't put it any better than that. And we definitely on purpose left this topic for last because we are going to end up talking to Thomas Q. Jones, former NFL running back, now actor / entrepreneur. And he's going to have a say-so on some of this topic, Marcus Mack, because this topic is relatively very,
it's a big deal,
sensitive to him. he also feels like the running backs are undervalued. He feels like they almost kind of like throw you to the side and feel like you're expendable or you're replaceable or somebody else could do your job. I'm looking at this running back list, Marcus Mack, and on this list, you got a bunch of first rounders on this list, but you also got a bunch of guys that had to hold out in order to get their money. Like, seriously, like you got McCaffrey, he didn't have to hold out, but you got Zeke who had to hold out. Le'Veon Bell had to hold out. Derrick Henry and Kenyon Drake have Band-Aid deals. They have like 1-year franchise tags. Saquon is an absolute animal. And Austin Eckler just got paid recently. Melvin Gordon had to hold out as well. So you got players that are sitting there, and in order to get the bags that they need to get and they feel like they're worth, they have to do things that a lot of other skilled position players don't have to do. You know, how many quarterbacks do you really see hold out to get their money? Hardly any. Wide receivers, maybe. But the running back position is the epitome. It's literally the top of the totem pole when it comes to holdouts, because these guys don't get appreciated by their teams and by their organizations.
And I definitely can't wait to talk to Thomas about this because, I would like to know his perspective on why that is so, up until this point, 2020.
He's going to give it to us 100%. And he's very, very emotional when it comes to that because, he feels like people like himself and a couple other guys that were older in the league or stuff like that just ended up retiring not too long ago, they laid the foundation for it. So, they set it up to where, we're running backs to where we have a chance to make the Hall of Fame and, we're pro bowlers and we're all pros and stuff like that and this, that, and the third. And we want to see the running back position flourish. Now, trust me, he's extremely happy for players like Zeke Elliott and Christian McCaffrey and Le'Veon Bell and David Johnson and all those guys getting money.
Right.
But he wants to see it.
Yeah,
he wants to see it escalate and go higher and higher, There shouldn't be such a big discrepancy where you got the quarterback who's possibly going to make $45 to $50 million and the guy that blocks for him and runs the ball and touches the ball probably the most other than the quarterback makes, half or less than, what I'm saying? Like makes half or a lot more than half. Then it doesn't make sense. Like the pay difference is so far where you're paying a quarterback $45 million or $40 million a season and the highest paid running back makes 16.
Yeah, it really is true because the running back is one of the most skilled players on the field. One of the most versatile. I can't say that, but definitely one of the most skilled players on the field and on the offensive side. And for them to be getting these kinds of numbers is one thing, but the fact that that I actually have to put the fire. I had to put the fire under your what for you to kind of budge here. And again, when we're talking about business, you get what you negotiate. And in these particular type of situations, you almost have to say, listen, all right, cool. No deal. No deal for
I ain't coming.
I'm going to sit down.
I ain't coming, yeah.
No
I ain't
problem.
coming.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just
I don't listen.
The bare minimum.
Yeah. Now, not the bare minimum, but just to get what you
Yeah, just to get, but what I deserve is the bare minimum. How can you underball me? You know what I'm saying? Or underbid me when it's like, like, come on. And I want to know why. I can't wait to have that interview with Thomas, man, because I would like to know why.
Yeah, we'll get those answers for sure. We're gonna end up doing that interview tomorrow, and it'll be up on the EAC show on episode 52 on Wednesday's show. Marcus Mack. We'll probably give him a little sneak peek tomorrow afternoon, a little excerpt, like a little piece of the interview while we're doing the editing process. But we're gonna have former NFL running back, actor, and now entrepreneur Thomas Jones on episode 52 of the EAC show. Marcus Mack, I can't wait, man.
Definitely.
Well, guys, this is going to conclude episode 51. Make sure you click, like, subscribe, hit the notification button on YouTube. We appreciate all the comments on social medias. Yo, shout out to PK Air Design, who's been doing all of those Disney designs, and we've been posting them. Yo, shout out to you. We really appreciate everything. Hopefully, we can do something in the future. We were there before you became famous.
Get Mitchell and Ness on the line, please. I need those designs on a jersey. Man, listen,
Marcus Mack, put up the last two that they just put up too, the Heat one and the Charlotte Hornets one. Make sure you put that up on the EAC show.
The Heat one had the mermaid, the little mermaid.
Yes.
That was dope. That was really dope. Yeah, big shout outs to him, man.
We really do appreciate it, guys. So we'll check you out episode 52.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC show.